Hello, everybody. Hello. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. So, I know it's kind of late in the day to be getting ready, but I had a busy morning. Went to some classes at the gym, did all that jazz, came home, took a shower. I did not wash my hair, so I'm working with yesterday hair. So I'm just going to touch it up a little bit. I don't feel like it needs too much, but I'm just going to run a couple of curls through it. And the reason I'm getting ready, I have another video to do later today, and then we are actually going to pick out my fiance's suit today. Well, we have it picked out. He's going in for fitting. So getting fitted for it again today, because it's been a little while. So we just want to make sure everything fits. So we're going to do that. And I was like, you know what? I'll get ready. Why not? So I'm going to put my hair just up in a clippy here and just brush out kind of how it already looks. And then I'm taking the Babyliss Pro Nano and I'm just going to add some curls in here. This is the only tool that I found I can, do a decent job curling with. And I've never been someone that can curl with a flat iron. So this can be used as a flat iron, but I've seen more people use it kind of like how I'm using it now for those really nice loose waves. Of course, the smaller section of hair you do, the tighter the wave will be. But I like to just throw a couple in and then let them sit and kind of just finger comb them out once they're cooled off. I hope everybody is having a nice week. I know a lot of people had Labor Day off, so hopefully this week is going by a little faster for a lot of you guys. And if you're on, I would love to know where you're tuning in from. Did you come off of my Facebook or my Instagram, or did you just happen to scroll by on Amazon? I'd love to know. So after I kind of touch this up, do my makeup. And I do have some new lip products that I wasn't sure if they were going to come in today, and they did come in just like 15 minutes ago. So I'm excited to try those out. I've been really into the like berry cherry vibe. So I got a new mascara too. So I'm going to try out this like maroon mascara. And then I got some new colors in e.l.f. products that I've been wanting to try, and a new lip liner. So I've been really liking the like dark cherry kind of feel. And I ordered a bunch of clothes in that color. And I thought, why not incorporate it into the beauty side of things too? I have a trip to Boston coming up. And that's kind of what I started looking at, some of the like Pinterest mood boards for fall in Boston. And I saw a lot of those colors, even though it won't be, necessarily cold yet. But that's where I kept seeing that beautiful like wine Merlot color. All right. Now, generally the curls will hold pretty well because I usually hairspray them like even overnight, but I did work out this morning and I had my hair up. So just wanted to kind of touch them up. And then I dry shampooed when I got home. So I was like, let me just touch these up a smidge. I will say though, the weather here took such a turn. Like it's not, I wouldn't say it's cold right now. It's not cold right now, but it is much cooler than it has been. And the mornings have been like in the 50s, which kind of came out of nowhere, but I am not mad about it. I am really enjoying it. Especially because I love in the mornings, like early morning, to get out and do like a quick little stroll around the neighborhood or just even sit outside for a few minutes just to, before I do anything else, just kind of have like a few minutes of peace. And I just love that cool weather. But it's funny, once it's, cold for a while, I'm going to be saying the same thing about spring. Okay, I have a mirror behind me, so I'm kind of using that to just touch up any little places that need it. Okay, so I'm going to let those just kind of cool for a second, and then I just finger comb them out, but we'll leave them as is for now. And start with makeup. So I'm going to use the NYX glue primer. It's the glue gripping primer. It's called the face glue, and it is actually cheaper online right now on Amazon. It's only $5.99 and normal price $9, so still a really good price, but if you can get it cheaper, why not? If you have ever used the Hydro Grip primer from e.l.f. or the Hydro Grip primer from Milk, this reminds me of that, except when you first put it on. When you first put it on, it's, I don't want to say watery. It's not watery. It's a little more fluid than those two, where the other two kind of feel like sticky. But once you put this on, it does have that grippy feel to it, which I personally like. I feel like it just holds my makeup in place well, and I like it. While that's setting, I'm gonna just open up these new products that I'm gonna try. So I got the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm in the shade Yummy Gummy, and I think these are, oh wow, that's pretty. I think these are kind of supposed to be like the Summer Fridays. Kind of looks like them. Like that, kind of that vibe. e.l.f. is really good at doing that, like making products that look like, premium products, but not exactly the same. And then I got the Glow Reviver Lip Oil. This is the shade Jam Session. This is a little darker than I thought it was going to be. Not darker, but it's a little more red than I thought. Oh no. Okay, so it looks really red, like burgundy in the packaging, but then if you put it like this, you can kind of see it's more like a jelly color. Okay, that's more what I was hoping for. Okie dokie, let's do foundation. I'm going to use some of the It Cosmetics, and I'm going to mix that with a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Filter. Now, I am a little more pale than I usually am this time of year, but that's okay. I have the color Tan in the CC cream, in the CC foundation, and then in the Flawless filter, I have shade 2.5, which is the shade Fair. And I'm using this brush from Smashbox to blend. And then I'm sure if you've seen me do my makeup before, I do like to go in with a beauty blender after blending it out. And the powder I use, so my foundation's a little too dark on me, but my pressed powder is a little too light on me. So it ends up kind of working out and evening out. So I know this looks dark, but just trust the process. It's very buildable, so if you want more coverage, you can always add more. And this has SPF in it as well. It has SPF 40, I think. Yeah, SPF UVA UVB 40. It is considered a color correcting medium coverage, but you can definitely add more. If you're like, I want, a beat face thick foundation, you can definitely kind of stack it and build on it. But I don't need, a full crazy amount today. All right. There is the Hollywood filter. This is the e.l.f. version of the Hollywood filter. Again, kind of what I was saying, they are really good at making products just like, higher end. And I don't think that they work any better or less. I'm just saying higher end as in like more expensive. But this is a great dupe for, the e.l.f. version is a great dupe for this Flawless filter. I've used both. I will say the only difference that I kind of have found is that the Flawless filter, the Hollywood Flawless filter, isn't quite as glowy. It gives you glow, but it's more of like a backlit glow. I feel like with the e.l.f. Halo Glow, it's almost like a highlighter kind of glow, if that makes sense. And I don't love that. So that's the only reason I didn't repurchase, but other than that, they are very, very similar. So if you're looking for a, more affordable option, that's a great one. And I know actually most people that I've talked to or seen try this product actually prefer the e.l.f. one. So it's just personal preference. Linked my little hoops too. And then I have my concealer this is Tarte Shape Tape. Little goes a long way. It is a little thicker, so you don't need a ton. I use this shade 275. And then I'm going to take my Beauty Blender. I like to get it just a little bit damp. And then I'll use that to blend out my concealer and also go over my foundation just to make sure everything is kind of blended in. I just like the look of it better when I kind of finish it off with a Beauty Blender. I just feel like it kind of melts into the skin better. And look at that. Look how instantly like lifted that eye looks. Before I go further, I feel like I have something in my eye. Makes such a difference. So, blending that right up underneath my eye, kind of down on the sides of my nose, and then just taking whatever is kind of left on there and blending out the rest of this foundation. Okie dokie. Are you with me? You hanging in there? You bored? What's next? Setting powder? All right, this is the One Size Blurring Setting Powder. You get a ton in here. I'm using the shade Ultra Pink. And what I like about this specifically is the packaging. See how it has this extra little covering right there so it doesn't explode all over the place and get all over everything and you don't waste a bunch. So I'll open this and then I like to just kind of tap what I'm going to use in the lid there. And then take my little spongy. You can get a set of 8 of these for under $5 right now. And these are my favorite for especially right underneath the eye because they just go perfectly in that little crease. So I'm gonna just kind of stack this underneath my eye and let it sit for just a second before I blend it out. And then I'm going to take just what's left on this little puff and what's left in the top here and just use it kind of everywhere else. I don't like to waste, try not to waste, product, and I tend to have more oily skin anyway. And especially this time of year, we're sweating, so I never mind a little extra setting powder. And these little puffs are just perfect for getting it right where you want it. Okay. We are all set. Literally. Then for pressed powder, like I said before, my foundation's a little darker, so I'm just using some of my pressed powder, which is a little lighter, to kind of balance this out, especially on places like my chin and my neck, so that it flows a little more evenly. So I'm just taking it kind of in a downward motion. And of course I am no, makeup expert. This is just kind of my routine and what I'm used to doing. Every now and then I'll get a wild hair and try, some of the cream products. I have them, like the cream bronzers and everything. I'll go through kind of phases where I do use them a little more often, but I feel like the matte look has just been kind of what I've always been comfortable with, and just kind of what comes naturally when I do my makeup. And that is the Infallible Touch Press Powder. It is very inexpensive and it works great. It is one of my favorite press powders I've ever used. The Dior Loose Powder is another great option. I love this one. It is more pricey though, but this is a loose powder and it has a little netting there so you can kind of puff it up. But since we're not, I kind of like to save that for a little more special occasion makeup. We'll do our blush. I'm using the shade Willa in Benefit, and it's a perfect blush. It's not too peachy, it's not too berry, and it's not too rosy. It's kind of like the perfect blend of all three shades, and even like a little bit of mauve in there too. And I like to take some up onto my lids as well, and then just go over my nose, so it kind of gives you that, kind of like sunburnt look. Then I'll just take whatever's left and blend it down. I will say one of the things I really like about the Benefit products is that they are very light on your skin. Even if you want to build them up so that they're kind of a darker coverage, they still feel and sit really light on the skin. So it doesn't feel like you have a whole lot of anything on, which is nice. So I'm going to use the bronzer. Now I'm using Hoola, and I have the shade Medium Deep. Same brand, Benefit. I'm just going to go kind of right up my cheeks. And then I take this in kind of like a 3 motion. I'll blend that out in a second. And I feel like it can look strange without brows on. Once I have my brows on, it kind of all flows a little better. But I kind of did a reverse today. But I'll just take one of my bigger blending brushes and really get in there and blend that out. Then I'm just taking kind of a smaller shadow brush and going just right along the bridge of my nose. And I like to take it up into the brow bone. And almost like an eyeshadow. I do use this as eyeshadow too every now and then. You know what? We'll do a little today. Why not? I rarely do much eye makeup anymore. I used to be like a shadow, liner, lashes, fake lashes. And I've just been keeping it much, much, much more simple these days. Now that that's on, again, I like to take just a big powder brush and kind of go over everything and just give it a once over little blend so that everything is blended in there. Oh, right, I gotta put my brows on because I feel naked without my eyebrows. I have extremely light eyebrows. I actually have them microbladed. I need to get them done again. If you've had yours microbladed, I'd love to know. I got mine probably like 5 years ago, maybe more. And I'm pretty sure I was supposed to have them touched up, but I feel like mine still have like most of the shade. So I don't know what the norm is for that, but I should probably look it up. So if you have your eyebrows microbladed, let me know like if you went in for a touch-up, how long in between you went. Okay. I'm gonna use a little bit of Gimme Brow here. Then we'll get to the lashes, which is always the fun part. And I'm gonna try that new burgundy mascara, which I really hope I like because I think that could be really, really fun. Okay, let's curl the lashes. I did link also the Grande Cosmetics is the lash serum that I use. It makes your lashes so long, and I've used it for years. Now I just use it for maintenance maybe twice a week. But it works so well for keeping your lashes long and strong. My mom uses it too, and I tell everybody about it. People ask about my lashes a lot, you know, when we go out, and they're always like, are those your real lashes? I'm like, yeah. I always tell them, get Grande Lash. I'm telling you, it works so, so well. So I'm going to take a little highlighter real quick and just do end of my nose there, a little above my lip. And then I like to take just a little on the tip of my fingers, pads of my fingers, and put that right up here. And I think today I'm going to just add a little right on top of my lid. I did that the other day and I really liked it. Was that yesterday? No, day before? I can't remember. Okay, we're good. Let's do mascara. Let's do, oh my gosh, did it not put, oh, here it is, yeah. Okay, good. So here it is. The shade is Deep Burgundy. And I generally use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascaras. I have it in brown and black. But I am going to try this L'Oreal Voluminous. I mean, I've used this before, but I think a long, long time ago. And let's see, look how pretty that is. Oh, I hope I like it. Okay, here we go. I have used the, what is it, dark cherry or something from Clinique. What is the one I'm thinking of? I have it in lipstick somewhere. This one, Black Honey. I had that mascara from Clinique and loved it, and this is exactly like it. It's not too, you'd have to get like super close to realize that it's burgundy, but it is less intense than black. It's like a purpley brown. Do you guys remember when blue mascara, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love blue mascara. From time to time, I will rock blue mascara and mix it with like my black mascara. But do you remember when blue mascara, I was in, I think high school, when that was like the thing. The blue mascara. Oh, this is really pretty. I really like this. Gorge. Oh, I'm excited about this. This is gonna be fun for fall especially. And I am a bit of a mascara stacker. I don't mind my lashes being a little thicker. So that's why I kind of build on mine, but you obviously can use less if you don't like that. Oh, that's really pretty. All right, let's try these new products I got. So this was super cheap. It is a Wet n Wild liner. I don't know how I'm gonna like having, you know, a dark lip, but we're gonna try it. Oh, this is extremely smooth. Honestly, I was not like expecting too much with it being Wet n Wild, but it was super cheap, so I was like, you know what, I'll try it. Very, very smooth. So this is the shade Gone Burgundy. Clearly we have like a theme going here. And then let's try the Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm. This is the shade Yummy Gummy. So, oh my God. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like gummy bears. This is exactly what I wanted. I was scared it was going to come out a little too dark. Just going to use the back of this. Every time I blot my lipstick, it always reminds me of my grandma. Do you guys I love this. And just, you know, for kicks, we'll try a little bit of this. You really don't need it because that balm has a great shine to it. Okay, well, I am obsessed with that. I'm gonna set my face and then I'll just run my fingers through my hair and I think we'll be done. I feel like I need to blot again. Hold on. Oh. I feel like if you could see in person, you can see the burgundy in the lashes a little more. Again, it's very subtle, but I can see it better when I'm looking in this mirror than when I'm looking in this camera. And I feel like adding that kind of berry lip also made the eyes pop a little more. What do we think? What do we think? Kind of want to add like a little more mascara. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I do feel I need a little more blush too. I really, really love this lip. Love. Love, 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 love. Use a little bit of NARS blush just to top this a bit. I feel like with the darker lip, it just needed a little more color in the cheeks. All right. Well, there we go. I am ready, and I plan on going live later. It's up in the air right now, but I did get a lot of new stuff in, and so I may be live later. So if you're not already following, make sure you click the follow button so you'll get notified, and then you can scroll through my storefront and see what kind of stuff I've already linked. There are some try-on hauls on there. There are some idea lists on there as well. Gift idea lists, daily deals, home decor, fall decor, summer lists, all kinds of fun stuff. Thank you for following. So make sure you do that if you haven't already. In the meantime, you can head to my Instagram to see more. It is at. And until then, let's see, 1:48. What time did we start this? 1:15? Yeah. Okay. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And if I don't see you later, have a great rest of your week.